Hi, my name is Livia, and today I'll be introducing to you some concepts about supply chain management and logistics. Logistics is defined as the art and science of obtaining, producing, and distributing material and product in proper place in proper quantities. A supply chain is a global network used to deliver products and services from raw materials to end customers through an engineered flow of information, physical distribution, and cash. So the difference between supply chain and logistics is transforming raw material into products and getting it to customer is supply chain, and the movement of materials in supply chain is logistics. Supply chain management includes the planning and management of all activities involved in sourcing and procurement, conversion, and all logistics management activities. Importantly, it also includes coordination and collaboration with channel partners, which can be suppliers, intermediaries, third-party service providers, and customers. In essence, supply chain management integrates supply and demand management within and across companies. Supply chain management is an integrating function with the primary responsibility of linking major business functions and business processes within and across companies into a cohesive and high-performing business model. It includes all of the logistics management activities, as well as manufacturing operations, and it drives coordination of processes and activities with and across marketing, sales, product design, finance, and information technology. The following animation will explain better how the basic structure of supply management works.
The below figure illustrates a very basic supply chain with three entities, a producer with one supplier and one customer. Four basic flows that connect the supply chain entities together are as follows. Flow of physical materials and services from suppliers to the end customer. Flow of cash from the customer to the raw materials supplier. Flow of information back and forth along the chain. And reverse flow of product returned.
A basic supply chain is made up of these three entities. The first one is the seller. That is a supplier who provides goods and services to a person or organization. Their generic term in marketplace is seller supplier, and they provide materials, energy services, or components for a product or service such as plastic fabric, electric wiring, or aircraft. Then, a producer is the one who receives components from the seller to produce a finished good or service, such as shirts from fabric, crockery from plastic, power from electric wiring, or provides transportation through aircraft. The last one is the customer, who receives the finished products. There are three types of supply chain strategies. There is the stable, reactive, and efficient reactive. First, the stable supply chain strategy is appropriate for chains that are focused on execution efficiency and cost performance. They use simple connectivity technologies and have little need for real-time information. The reactive supply chain strategy works well when the chain acts to fulfill demand from trade partners. And last but not least, the efficient reactive supply chain strategy focuses on the efficiency and cost management on total delivered costs of finished goods. There are four flows in supply chains. First, the information flow. That includes invoices, sales, literature specifications, receipts, orders, and rules and regulations. Second is the primary cash flow. That includes payment of products and supplies. Third, there is the primary product flow that includes materials, components, supplier services, and finished products. For last, there is the reverse product flow that includes returns for repair, replacements, recycling, and disposal. The firms usually pursue one of two types of supply chain management. the vertical integration or horizontal integration. The vertical supply chain management, it is an arrangement. The supply chain of a company is owned by that company. Usually, each member of the supply chain produces a different product or market-specific service, and the products combine to satisfy a common need. The horizontal integration is the expanding of a business by acquiring a similar company in the same industry. It is contrasted with the vertical integration, where a company produces different items which are related to one product. The company might do this via internal expansion, acquisition, or merger. The process can lead to monopolies if a company captures the vast majority of the market for a good or service. Logistics management is the part of supply chain management that plans, implements, and controls the efficient forward and reverse flow and storage goods services and related information between the point of origin and the point of consumption in order to meet customers' requirements. To varying degrees, the logistics function also includes sourcing and procurement, production planning and scheduling, packaging and assembly, and customer service. It is involved in all levels of planning and execution, strategic, operational, and tactical. Logistics management is an integrating function which coordinates and optimizes all logistics activities, as well as integrates logistic activities with other functions, including marketing, sales, manufacturing, finance, and information technology. The logistics value proposition implies that managers must be able to balance logistics costs against the appropriate level of customer service. Logistics are usually managed as an integrated effort to achieve customer satisfaction at the lowest total cost. Therefore, service and cost minimization are two key elements in logistics value proposition. To meet customer requirements, there are a number of logistics goals. The most experts agree on: respond rapidly to changes in market or customer orders, minimize variances in logistics service, minimize inventory to reduce costs, consolidate product movement by grouping shipments, maintain high quality, and engage in continuous improvement throughout the entire product life cycle and the reverse logistics supply chain. An effective logistics strategy depends on the following tactics: coordinating functions, that is, transportation management integrating the supply chain, substituting information for inventory, reducing supply chain partners to an effective minimum number, and pooling risks. When you talk about logistics, it's important to mention the 7 R's of logistics. The most popular concept of logistics management is the concept of the 7 R's, that is concerned with getting the right product in the right quantity, in the right condition, at the right price, at the right time, to the right customer, and at the right price.
Hi, my name is Christian and I'm going to talk about transport management. Transport basics. Transport usually represents the most important element in terms of logistical costs for many companies. Cargo handling absorbs 1 to 2/3 of the total logistics costs. Importance of an effective transport system. When comparing the economy of a developed nation, we know that one of the main characteristics is its very well developed transport systems, as they are countries with high production and consumption, in addition to a higher population density and geographically close areas. The task of logistics operators is to achieve an efficient and inexpensive transport system, to contribute and increase the company's productivity and competitiveness. Greater competition. With an efficient transport system, companies depend on reducing production costs or are limited to areas close to the production site, in addition to encouraging direct competition. Cheap and high-quality transport also encourages an indirect form of competition by making available products in a market that would not normally be able to afford transport costs. Usage price. Cheap transport also contributes to lower product prices. This happens not only due to increasing competition in the market, but also because transport is one of the components together with production, sales and distribution that make up the total aggregate cost of production. Service options and their characteristics. The transport user has a wide range of services available, revolving around 5 basic modes: water, rail, road, air, and road pipeline. They can also be used in combination, such as handling trailers or containers. Transport agencies, carrier associations, and brokers are also useful to facilitate this service. Couriers, carriers, for example, Federal Express and United Parcel Service. Price. The price of transportation for the shippers is simple. The fee for the transportation line of the product plus the additional expense charged for additional service. Transit time and variability. The delivery time is calculated as the average journey time for freight between origin and destination. Variability refers to the normal difference that occurs between shipments made in different modes, even though all freight have the same points of origin and destination in the single model. This does not mean that they will complete the necessary route in exactly the same time. What happens is that depending on the service options, one operation may take longer than the other. Damage and loss. Given the difference between the carriers, they must be able to move the cargo, reducing the level of damage and loss. Since the condition of the product is one of the most important considerations in terms of customer service, the biggest losses that the shipper must bear are related to customer service. The shipment of goods may be intended for replenishing stock or for immediate use. Late shipments or goods in a condition incompatible with their use represent problems for the customers, or probably the increase in storage costs caused due to increase in inventory quantities, or the accumulation of orders in the portfolio that occur when replacement is not carried out according to planning. Single service options. Railway. The railway is basically a long-haul, low-speed conveyor for raw materials, wood chemicals, and low-cost manufactured products, food, papers, and forest products, and prefers to move full loads. Road. The road service is the transportation of semi-finished or finished products with an average range of 770 miles for fractional cargo, less than truckload, and 286 miles for full cargo, truckload. Another contrast is that road loads are always smaller in size than railway. Air. The great attraction of air transport is its unmatched speed of origin destination, especially over long distance. Delivery time variability is low in absolute values, although air service is extremely sensitive in terms of mechanical maintenance, weather conditions, and traffic congestions. Variability and compared to average delivery time even qualifies air transport as one of the least reliable modes. Water transport services are limited in scope for several reasons. The waterway service is on average lower than the railroad service. The reliability and availability of the waterway service depends mainly on the weather conditions. Floods and droughts can interrupt service at other times. Capacity and handling are increased as large traffic cargo ships develop, while improvements and progress such as satellite and radar navigation improved bathymeters and automatic piloting contribute to service with increasing punctuality. Duct routes. The range of service and capacity of pipeline transportation is still extremely limited. The products whose pipeline transportation is the most viable are crude oil and its derivatives. The movement of products via pipeline is very slow, not exceeding 3 to 4 miles per hour. On the other hand, it is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which makes the effective speed much higher when compared to other modes. Intermodal services. In the last few years, the use of freight transport in processes that use more than one model has grown. There are no less than 10 possible combinations of intermodal service. 1. Train truck. 2. Ship train. 3. Pipeline train. 4. Airplane trucks. 5. Aircraft ship. 6. Truck ship. 7. Duck truck. 8. Pipeline ship. 9. Aircraft ship. 10. Run duct. Interconnection. Not all carriers work in all regions. Thus, a carrier can take care of a freight and pass it on to another carrier that provides service to the destination region of the cargo. In this case, the first company pays the second, but the shipper pays the first. Transport decisions. Choosing the transport service. The choice of transport mode or service offered within the scope of these modes depends on a variety of service characteristics, among which are 1. Freight rates. 2. Reliability. 3. Time in transit. 4. Loss, damage, processing of the respective cranes, and traceability. 5. Shippers market considerations. 6. Consideration regarding carriers. Evaluation of selection methods. The methods discussed for the problem of choosing transport service recognize the need to include indirect effects that the option for a particular means of transport has on storage costs, and the option for the members of the logistics channel that offers the best performance in modal carriage. This is in addition to the direct cost of the service provided. Vehicle authorization. The time that goods spent in transit has an impact of the number of freights that can be made per vehicle in a given period of time and the full cost of transport for all shipments. Reducing transportation costs and improving customer service. Discovering the best routes for vehicles along a network of highways, railways, waterways, on-air navigation routes in order to minimize times and distance are very frequent problems of technical decision making. Freight consolidation. In transportation, the reduction in tariffs for large shipments is a factor that encourages managers to opt for higher volume shipments. Consolidating small freight into larger freight is a fundamental way to achieve lower transport costs per unit of weight.
Hi guys, my name is Anna and now I'm going to talk about inventory management. A company's inventory is all the goods and materials that are held in stock. And a good inventory includes not only materials needed to build products, but also finished products yet to be sold. Making an effective inventory management can be a great competitive advantage to reduce costs, optimize how operations, and ensure business profitability. A lot of companies will actually do a manual process to keep track of all of this and accomplish their business processes. but it's a very labor intensive. We have a lot of data that we need to keep track of, like number serials, costs, quality, dates for products expiration shipment. So many information. In an automated process, all these data can be tracked using barcodes, and you know exactly where it is, how much you have, and it's there when you need it. Since raw materials passing to the production process and finally to the finished goods. Some basic inventory metrics are levels. You've got a bunch of different products. You need to know at any given time what number of items you have on the shelf. So, if you do the manual process, depending on the branch of the company, it means that you are at least sending people out quarterly or monthly to count these items and make sure that you know what your inventory levels are so that you can fulfill orders. Turnover is related to your levels, but this is about calculating how often this inventory is turning over, an inventory ratio. For example, you sell a widget A and you have 10 of those in your inventory, but you sold 20 of those in a month. So your inventory ratio is 2.0. It means that you have to reorder to make sure you are able to fulfill that item. On the other hand, if you sell a widget B, have 10 of those in your inventory, but sold 2 of those in a month, it means that you have to reorder your inventory too and find a balance point. Cycle time. The cycle time can be calculated from many different perspectives. It could be calculated from the time it takes when you place an order with your vendor till you get the shipment, and can also be calculated based on when a customer orders till you fulfill. So you might determine your cycle times includes the order coming in, 2 days until it's pulled from the shelf, it goes out and shipping, and then it's going to be 3 days until it's delivered. Understanding cycle time, you can know how your business is running and make sure you are fulfilling everything on time and you are not missing orders or making a poorly executed process. Warehousing management. Warehousing involves all of the functions related to the large-scale storage of goods and materials. This includes receiving, identifying, inspecting, storing, packing, and retrieving the goods, besides quality control and inventory management. A materials management needs to receiving the shipment, unloading and checking it, unpacking and inspecting the material, checking if it's the correct item in the correct quantity and condition, and make a receiving report. After this, the materials management needs to scan the barcodes and move to correct warehouse location with the product key, product code, size, weight, cost, color, all the information about the products. He or she also needs to define if the order picking will be by zone picking, batch picking, or wave picking, and keep inventory flowing to the supply chain by maintaining efficient order and prevent costly inventory overstocking. To prevent costly inventory, it's also important to pay attention to the stock rotation, making sure that oldest units are sold before the newer one, reducing the losses from deterioration and obsolescence. On the other hand, we have just-in-time, a business strategy aimed at reducing inventory and associated costs, which consists of lean manufacturing, produced only when the customer asks for, because stopped stocks give damage. However, it's not easy for a company to reach sufficient maturity to reach this level of production.
You click there, and a box appears here. E-commerce is a magic trick that repeats millions of times a day. For a peek at what happens in between, we visited its inventor. This is where an Amazon delivery begins. A building that's 1/3 of a mile long. Ordinarily, it's off limits, but not today. Amazon opened closed doors
Steady flow.
and opened my eyes.
I don't think it's well understood.
With a footprint equal to 59 football fields, this Amazon fulfillment center is simply mammoth.
We have the packing, the picking, the slamming, the shipping, the receiving.
It's home to an army of employees,
A little bit over 100.
one 6-ton pallet-slinging robot,
We affectionately call it Robo-Stow.
and a squad of box-shuffling cyborgs.
We like to think of it as a symphony between robots and our great associates.
We found a secret at our feet. The floor is covered in tiny QR codes.
It's sort of like a chessboard.
Eyes in the robots' bellies read the codes and broadcast their position. Choreography that keeps your shipment on time and avoids collisions.
They know exactly where to go.
Clicking that yellow button sets these robots in motion, sometimes within seconds. But your order is not handled by Android alone.
The drive units, the Amazon robots, are actually bringing items from where they're stored to associates so that associate can pick customer orders and get them ready to ship out.
A real-life human being boxes every Amazon order. As with every department, there's simply no guesswork in choosing the right box.
How do I know which box to pick?
Our technology will tell you.
The computer tells you.
The computer will tell us the perfect size box to fit that item.
From there, it's time to slam it.
Slam.
Fortunately, SLAM isn't an action. SLAM is an Amazon acronym for adding your address and sending your order home.
Scan, label, apply, manifest.
Orders are constant.
We process thousands and thousands of packages.
The exact number is confidential, but we do know that Amazon sales hit a record $88 billion in 2014, driven by new same-day delivery and selection that no other retailer can touch.
You can't fathom the amount of inventory that we have in the building.
It looks like a lot, and it is. Amazon says those shelves are home to 1 million different items.
1 million.
You think the typical customer realizes that?
Probably not.
We even spotted a toilet in stock.
You name it, we have it.
Chaos and a supersonic conveyor are what we expected. Manager Chris Monnett explained that speed isn't everything.
The important thing is just the flow.
Order levels fluctuate, and yes, there are rush hours. Yet Amazon says its software regulates the line to maintain a steady pace.
But in order to have 1 million unique items in this facility, you have to be able to do that.
As gaping, gargantuan, gigantic as this fulfillment center is, it's not alone.
We have 109 fulfillment centers worldwide.
Locally, 59 football fields probably isn't enough either. Our tour guides hinted at expansion, though they wouldn't touch the drone thing.
We did build this facility with room to grow, so stay tuned.
Amazon has taken heat for claims of harsh conditions at its warehouses. Perhaps that's why it granted us access behind the locked gates and let us interview Diane Ortiz.
I'm happy to have you guys.
She recently joined Amazon. Diane works 10-hour days, 4 days a week, is paid more than the national average, and disputes the company's critics.
I think they'll be in awe. Surprised, extremely surprised.
The other reason for our visit is you. This invitation is a rare opportunity to give shoppers an insider's view,
It's an awesome place to work.
to marvel at the robots,
We are very excited about the technology.
to admire the inventory,
1 million.
and to put a face on the company that with the click of a button
It takes more than that.
delivers A to Z.
And I love it.
Chris Kamor, Fox 13 News.
Now, although Chris got a private tour there, the public can visit Amazon's fulfillment center as well. There are two catches, though. First, only select centers are open, and the closest to Tampa is in Tennessee. Second, you're going to have to wait until 2016. Got to wait till New Year's. Tourists stop for the...
Hello everyone, my name is Giovanna and I am going to talk about the reverse logistics. What is reverse logistics? I have put here 3 different definitions of this important term. The Reverse Logistics Association, the RLA, defines it as all activity associated with a product or a service after the point of sale. The website eCycle defines it as the process of moving goods from their typical final destination for the purpose of capturing value or proper disposal. In the case of reverse logistics, the resource goes at least one step back at the supply chain. And Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals defines reverse logistics as the process of planning, implementing, and controlling the efficient, cost-effective flow of raw materials in process inventory, finished goods, and related information from the point of consumption to the point of origin for the purpose of recapturing value or proper disposal. I prefer the simpler definition provided by the RLA. While it is admirable to think that there should be planning, efficiency, value, and cost effectiveness inherent in reverse logistics, these are, to me, noble objectives of the process, not necessarily given attributes of the process. It is notable that reverse logistics is often called aftermarket service as well. Whatever title is used, it is an umbrella term which includes all activities such as repair, recycling, scrap management, remanufacturing, reuse, call central management, and all of the physical activities associated with the movement and processing of goods in all of these areas. And why is reverse logistics so important? When I was a young girl, I remember times at which my mother wanted to return some products she had bought for her production of clothing. For a variety of reasons, it was nearly impossible to return something. The retailers would fight tooth and nail to stop anyone from returning anything. They would be downright nasty with their customers who tried to return anything, and my mother was not alone in this experience. Fast forward to today, in this exponentially growing e-commerce marketplace, customers expect and demand a hassle-free returns policy. They will check out the returns policy before making a purchase. They will go elsewhere if there is not an easy returns policy and practice, and they will use the returns process a lot. It was proved that the e-commerce market in 2018 was about $1.5 trillion worldwide, and as much as 30% of those purchases was returned. Add that to the returns rate in the brick and mortar retail industry, and there are over $650 million worth of returns annually. The global waste management industry is over $300 billion. The global recycling industry is over $200 billion. Now, think about your cell phone or your smartphone. There are billions of these devices in the market. Almost half of people who own one of these devices will drop it, break it, damage it, or otherwise have it stop working or malfunction. Many, and by many I mean hundreds of millions, of those devices will be returned somewhere for repair and refurbishment. The cost and expense for all of this is enormous. The impact of a company's reverse logistics operation on brand value, customer satisfaction, and company growth and profitability can be the difference between success and failure. And that is why reverse logistics is so important. Which path does reverse logistics process follow? Most supply chains will stop measuring the success of their goods once the product is shipped and is delivered on time. While can be an accurate measurement of customer satisfaction and profit, it doesn't account for all cases. What if your customer receives an incomplete order? What if they feel the item they ordered doesn't match the product description? Or what if customers just change their minds about their purchase? In all three of these likely scenarios, the return of your product qualifies as reverse logistics. But which path does the item follow? The item passed through retrieve. After that, it will be transported until the company receives it and put it under the process of inspection, and after that the company will classify the item in resell, recycle, or scrap. And now think about the different phases a product return goes through at your company. This could include the physical shipping of the returned product, quality testing the returned product to not do the error again, or to identify the flaw, documenting any problems with the returned item, and the disassembling, repairing, recycling, or restocking of the returned item. Managing the reverse travel of your product back to the supply chain. It can help the companies avoid making the same mistake twice and allow you to reuse as many components of your product as possible. While many companies consider the return process to be unnecessarily evil, that shouldn't be noticed. Companies that implement an effective reverse logistics workflow can reap several benefits. Some of those benefits are reduced costs. By planning ahead for returns and making the return order right, you can reduce related costs, administration, shipping, transportation, tech support, faster service. This refers to the original shipping of goods and the return of goods. Quickly refunding or replacing goods can help restore a customer's faith in a brand. Customer retention. Dealing with errors is just as important as making sales. If a customer had a bad experience with your product, you have to make it right. Fulfillment blunders can create educational opportunities. Learn how to keep your customers happy and engaged with your company, even after you have made a mistake. Reduced losses and unplanned profits. Recover the loss of investment in your failed product by fixing and restocking the unit, scrapping it for parts, or repurposing it in a secondary market. With a good reverse logistics program in place, you don't have to leave money on the table. Take a product that could otherwise just cost your company money and turn it into an unforeseen asset. Conclusion: reverse logistics is an inherent part of most every supply chain in every industry. If at any point your end to supply chain you have materials or goods moving back upstream, then you have a case for a reverse logistics capability. The size of reverse logistics business is staggering, and while it may seem more interesting to be working on the forward supply chain, the reality is that the reverse logistics supply chain can be equally interesting, informative, and rewarding. I certainly recommend to anyone interested in supply chain to take advantage of any and all opportunities to become involved in reverse logistics. Having this experience will provide you a great grounding in truly understanding the true overall supply chain of all company in any industry. In these next 2 slides, I will show you guys 2 videos. The first one will show you a video resuming all the content showed above. It is a content of the company BIBA, the Institute for Production and Logistics. The video deals with technological and organizational challenges that are to be solved in the context of Industry 4.0 in form of several research projects. This film shows the contribution that cyber-physical systems can offer in the utilization, recycling, refurbishing of used products or reusable material. The second one is 5 quick shipping trends to succeed in 2020. To help shippers understand what is coming down the road for the shipping in 2020, this video gives 5 quick shipping trends for shippers to succeed in 2020.
Der Markterfolg von Unternehmen wird zunehmend durch produktbegleitende Services beeinflusst. Da besteht im Vordergrund, dass zunächst die Kundenanforderungen erfüllt werden, aber auch, dass die Gesamtlebenszykluskosten inklusive der Umweltwirkung der Produkte reduziert werden. Das Ganze wird erreicht, indem durchgehende Verfahren und Systeme bereitgestellt werden, die ein ganzheitliches Management der Produktgestaltung, Produktion, Distribution und auch der Verwertung der Produkte ermöglichen. Und dazu brauchen wir Transparenz in den Informationen entlang der gesamten Prozesskette. Ein Bereich, bei dem das nicht so einfach ist, ist die Verwertung der Produkte. Hier ist es häufig so, dass die Unternehmen nicht im Besitz oder keinen Zugriff haben auf die relevanten Informationen, die sie brauchen. Und hier stellt sich die Frage, inwieweit cyberphysische Systeme einen Beitrag leisten können. In Produkte eingebettete cyberphysische Systeme können sinnvoll in der Verwertung von Produkten eingesetzt werden. Ein Beispiel ist da die Ausstattung von Komponenten mit RFID-Tags, um die einzelnen Komponenten zu identifizieren. Dabei werden dann die Komponenten mit Materialeigenschaften verknüpft und können so ohne aufwendige Analyse einem speziellen Verwertungsprozess eben auch zugeführt werden.
In Produkte und Komponenten eingebettete Sensorik und Datenspeicher geben Aufschluss über die Nutzungsphase. Relevante Fragen für die Wertung sind, unter welchen Umständen wurde das Produkt benutzt, wie lange wurde es benutzt, wie alt sind die Materialien, welchem Reinheitsgrad entsprechen sie, wurden in der Nutzungsphase Materialien ausgetauscht, repariert oder beschädigt, lassen sich die Materialien recyceln und gegebenenfalls sogar substituieren.
By analyzing this data, a whole life cycle analysis can be performed, which gives information about the product's environmental impact. This analysis can be used for a more sustainable design of future products. Furthermore, intelligence integrated into reverse logistics processes can contribute to analyzing the components of material streams.
Das BIBA hat im Rahmen von internationalen Forschungsprojekten eine Hardware- und Softwarelösung, den Universal Sensor Gateway, entwickelt. So lassen sich über Sensoren bereits in der Nutzungsphase Produktinformationen erheben, an nachgelagerte Cloud-Systeme übertragen und zur automatisierten Bewertung der Verwertungsmöglichkeiten nutzen. Dies ermöglicht es unter anderem, den Alterungszustand der Materialien zu beurteilen und diese direkt dem richtigen Verwertungsprozess zuzuführen. Durch eine Betrachtung auf Einzelteilebene können die Verwertungsanforderungen der einzelnen Produktinstanz deutlich besser beurteilt werden als bei einem Vorgehen nach Produktgruppe. Dies ermöglicht es unter anderem, Nachverfolgbarkeit und Dokumentation über die Qualität der Materialien zu erhalten. In Zukunft werden wir Systeme der künstlichen Intelligenz entwickeln, bei denen der Mensch in seiner digitalen Fabrik besser und gezielter bei der Verwertung von Materialien unterstützt wird. Sämtliche Maschinen sind miteinander vernetzt, Servicedaten, Produktionsdaten und Diagnosedaten werden automatisiert übertragen und das ohne den Bediener dabei zu sehr mit den Datendetails zu belästigen. Sämtliche am Verwertungsprozess beteiligten Maschinen kommunizieren in Echtzeit miteinander. Kanalballenpressen beispielsweise erkennen automatisiert den Materialfluss und stellen die Maschinenparameter danach ein. Die Übertragung dieser Systeme der künstlichen Intelligenz in die Produktionsumgebung verspricht effizientere und flexiblere Verwertungsverfahren. Insbesondere unter Betrachtung der Kriterien wie Kosten, Energieeffizienz, Ressourcenverbrauch und Verfügbarkeit lassen sich diese optimal einstellen.
Hello, and welcome back for another Fast Freight 5, sponsored by Ceresys, the transportation management solutions company, now a global trans company. Technologies, service providers, solutions, and customers. The only constant for these entities in shipping is change. Sometimes this change is for the better, and other times it can bring disruption and necessitate evolution of one or more of these areas. With the new year, Ceresys wants to take a moment to reflect on the state of the shipping industry and the trends shaping it for the remainder of the year. These trends reflect the growing demands for more service, more value, faster shipping, cheaper shipping, and an unrelenting pace to predict what's going to happen next. To help shippers understand what is coming down the road and for shipping in 2020, I'll give you 5 quick shipping trends for shippers to succeed in 2020. So let's give you 5 things real fast. Number 1, increasing parcel volumes need parcel shipping platforms. Shippers that wish to stay relevant must evolve their operations beyond the nuances of paper-based tracking and deploy newer digital systems and platforms. According to Pitney Bowes' Parcel Shipping Index, more than 2,700 parcels are shipped every second in the global supply chain, and the global parcel shipping volume could surpass 200 billion packages a year by 2025. The digitalization of processes is the only option. Number 2, e-commerce customer expectations will grow. Customers play a significant role in what supply chains will do to ensure timely, accurate shipping and delivery. The average volume of e-commerce packages has increased more than 20% since 2018. And with all organizations looking to achieve 100% transparency, customers expect to know everything. As explained by the 2020 State of the Third-Party Logistics Industry Report, a negative shipping experience can have an irreparable impact on a customer relationship. 84% of consumers say that they won't return to a brand after just one poor delivery experience. Further, 89% of younger consumers are likely to promote a brand as a result of a customer experience that is positive. Number 3, business intelligence and analytics will dominate 3PL selection choices. The overwhelming majority of shippers and 3PLs in that logistics study, 95% and 99% respectively, agree analytics are essential to success. With that in mind, only 26% of shippers and 27% of 3PLs believe current analytics capabilities meet this requirement. The rationale for these issues may vary, including a lack of access to data, inability to understand data, and poor categorization of data. For example, descriptive data does not carry the same weight and insights as prescriptive data. In short, shippers should ask their 3PLs about data and analytics capabilities. Number 4, integration gets a big slice of focus. Systems that do not communicate and rely on disparate processes will lead to inefficiencies and added costs for shippers. To stay successful, shippers and 3PLs will need to ensure integration with a diverse set of systems, including the integration of systems to the TMS via API and EDI. Other integrations may include integration to the TMS with third-party picking, packing, and shipping software, customer e-commerce websites such as marketplaces, e-commerce shopping carts, and of course, brick-and-mortar inventory management systems. While some shippers may have one or more of these integration capabilities today, only the full set of integration can ensure success. And number 5, billing automation to enhance accounting. In the past, the use of auditing programs and accounting software stood apart as a key area of added value for Ceresys clients, and the market hadn't taken hold of the opportunities for automation in accounting. However, the most recent State of Logistics report indicates billing, invoicing, and accounting services will rise to power and become a differentiator in the market. In other words, these once competitive functions are becoming a standard that everyone must embrace. What shipping trends will impact your operations in 2020? Let us know in the comments section below.